talk high, let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur game, baby, let's get it on.
Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk Upon Further Review, where this week we're going to be reviewing the Eagles bye week. Should be an easy week then, right? So there wasn't a game to play on Sunday, so we're just going to go over the bye week. But no, our Philadelphia Eagles were off last week, and they resumed this season this upcoming Sunday against the Washington Redskins, who is they're not feeling well or something like that. Pat, what's going on with the Washington Redskins?
17 plus on that COVID list. That thing is getting hefty.
17 people are on the COVID list for the Washington football team. Can we beat them with 17 people out? Can we beat them?
We don't underestimate the Let's talk about this. Man. We can talk about this.
I mean, all right. You are listening, watching Eagles Talk, the Eagles coverage show, unique, where we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Yes, we like to drink, we like to get loose, and we like to talk about our football team. So we are going to do so. All right, I'll take one. I've been chilling. I've really been chilling, but for the culture, I'll take a shot. All right, so I'm going to do this. All right, this is not the most manly drink, but I'm going to do the Ciroc Summer Watermelon.
Shum will be in love with that.
No, actually, this is not sweet because I can't do sweet. I can't do sweet, but this is not sweet. So if you see me drinking something, you can better believe it. It's not that syrupy stuff. I can't do that. All right, everybody, let me know what you guys are drinking out there as we start to talk about our Philadelphia Eagles as they start this 4-game stretch and a run to the playoffs. Yes, that's right. We are in the playoff race. So let's get it down the hatch and get this conversation started. On 3, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the First on Water.
All right, so like I said in the opening, the Washington football team, excuse me, I apologize. The Washington football team is under the weather. 17 players are out on the COVID protocol.
I misspoke. It's way more than that now.
Wow, way more than that? What is it?
Let's count. Jonathan Allen, Kyle Allen, Troy Epp, defensive end Will Bradley King, Carmen Curl, Milo Effer, Derek Forrest, Kendall Fuller, Timick Hummingway, Calais Hudson, Matt Ioannidis, Keith Ishmael, Tyler Larson, Cornelius Lucas, David Mayo, Sammy Reyes, Tim Settle, James Smith Williams. How you have 3 last names as well? Montez Sweat, Casey Toohill. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 players.
20 players. And how many do we have? Do we have anybody out?
We have 2.
All right,
there's no update on it, but the thing is, the thing about this COVID list and being put on a COVID reserve list, if you're vaccinated, all you have to do is provide 2 negative tests within 2 24-hour periods. So you got to have 2 back-to-back negative tests. If you provide that, then you'll be taken off that list.
So can some of these players come back by
there are
Sunday?
a few of their starters that basically they're gone for 10 days because they're not unvaccinated. They're starting cornerback Kendall Fuller. He's unvaccinated. He's gone for 10 days. I think it's Montez Sweat. He's unvaccinated. He's gone for 10 days.
So let me get this clear. So you're saying if they were vaccinated, all they needed is 2 negative tests. But if they're not vaccinated, they have to sit out the 10 days. It's
mandatory.
It's mandatory. Okay, all right.
Players.
Wow.
I mean, I kind of feel as though that's unfair for the unvaccinated because it could be a false negative, a false positive, And
Well, no, I'm sure they do that.
yeah,
I'm sure
that happened
they
to Jalen Ramsey. He got tested the next day. It was fine.
right. So yeah, I'm sure
know?
they do a test, a backup test, to make sure it's not a false positive.
Nah, they
And
do it
shoot,
next
they
day.
do it at my kid. They do it at my kid's high school. I know that the billionaires are going to do it for the millionaires that they're paying. They got to do it. They're not going to. They're not going to take the first test and say, "All right, that's it. He's out." No. I don't see that. I don't see any owner going for that. You know, especially the test. I hope they're getting a PCR test and not a rapid. But so hey, it sucks to be them. It benefits us, right? So
Yeah.
we get because we need to run out. We need to run out. I know this is a retooling year, and we're not. You know, we weren't going into this year looking, being very confident about making the playoffs, but here we are. And especially again after the first month of the season, didn't look like we would be sitting here, but here we are sitting in position where we could possibly earn a playoff berth. So since we are here, we're diehard fans. We want to see that. I want to see it. I know we may not. It's not realistic that we go to the Super Bowl or anything like that. But who doesn't want to see their team play in the postseason? I'm one. I want to see it. What do you guys say out there? You guys want to see us in the playoffs, man?
I mean, listen, we don't want to be like the Lions. You know, the Lions in the playoffs once a decade. You don't want to feel like that. That fan base,
Right.
I mean, you got to be super loyal. Like you got to be to the umpteenth degree loyal to be a Lions fan. But in the same breath, I mean, getting to the playoffs and not improving your draft position, especially in this retooling year, you know, you kind of look at that like you kind of weigh the two evils. Like, yes, do we want to improve our draft capital? Yes, but at the same time, how we drafting, so that doesn't even matter sometimes.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. All right, I am held out long enough. Let me go to our third co-host, and they are you guys that are in the chat room here. And comment up on the screen, John Batiste. He says he's sipping on that South Carolina country well water tonight. Wow, high quality H2O. I had some of that a couple weeks ago, and your brother put in the order for some of that.
Hey,
he
we can't
probably
say
has
that
some
online. We can't say that on
water. You can say he had put in an order for some country water.
Yeah,
water.
I did too. Via him.
All right. Okay. So the first person in the room tonight was Ted Wiggins. What's up, family? What's up, Ted? John Batiste was second. He's checking in, like I said, from South Carolina. Byron is third. He says, "Happy holidays, everyone." Happy holidays to you, Byron. Thanks a lot. And Tina is in the house. Tina, where you been at? How are you? Hey, guys. Richard Boo says, "What's up, Eagles family? What's up?" And JT is in the house.
What up, JT?
JT is in the house. What's up? Let's whip upon
JT
the.
got to call me JT. My phone
Oh,
is
that's
going
what's
crazy. Those water buffaloes. I'll tell you about those guys.
Oh yeah. Congratulations to Pat. He's the head buffalo water buffalo now. He's the head water buffalo of the Water Buffalo Lounge now. And congratulations to you,
Appreciate
Pat.
it, man. Appreciate it.
All right. So look, some of the newer comments. Lois says, "Are they all starters?" In referencing the 20 or so Washington football team players that are out.
Let me go back to the list, and I can tell you a few are starters. A few are big-time contributors to that team. Jonathan Allen, their defensive tackle, is one of the biggest guys they have out. He has like six and a half sacks. Montez Sweat is a terror coming off that end. Their cornerback, their starting cornerback, Kendall Fuller, he is definitely missing the game because he's unvaccinated, unfortunately, and he has to sit out 10 games. Then you have Troy, their safety, Troy Eki. You know, he's a very good guy. You have a rotational defensive lineman in Matt Ioannidis, Temple guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to definitely not be playing. Some of these guys, Mio Ifer, is David Mayo, rotational linebackers, starting linebackers. These guys are not going to be in the game. Kyle Allen, their second string quarterback, who actually came in the game because Tyler Hinkie got injured. You know, they're down to their third string quarterback if Tyler gets injured in this game. And he's coming off a rough game. He's coming off an elbow injury. So this this can be a game for the backups, straight backups, third string backups, and practice squad players.
Okay, all right. That's a great segue into asking, well, then if it is a game for the backups, do we let our backup continue to play Minshew, the one who led us to a victory the last time we saw our team on the field? Or do we bring in Hurts? I mean, we have 20 players on the opposing team that's out, right? You just said this is a game for the backups.
21. I'm sorry. I'm 21.
21.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. We're going to cap it at 21 because it seems as though this list, I mean, this number is going up as I speak. I started off the show with 17, then it went to 20. Now it's at 21. So they're falling like they're falling very, very consistently here. All right, but anyway, so we have our backup. Last time we saw our team, we were playing with our backup quarterback. He did an excellent job and led us to a victory. Okay, Hurts. If he's not 100%, do we have to rush him back? Do we want to see more of Minshew, see what he has? If Hurts has any type, if he's not 100%, this would be a prime game to let him sit out, right, and get some more rest, right? I mean, you can explain that. Now, me personally, if Hurts is 100% healthy, then I want him to play. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to see. I want to see as much of Hurts as I can see because we're making a decision whether he can be our franchise quarterback. So if that's the case, I don't want him. I want to see more of him, not less of him. So if he's healthy, I want him to play. I want him to play. But now if he's not, if he's only 80%, I'll say, okay, yeah, all right, let Minshew play. We this is not a week where we definitely need Hurts. We can give him an extra week. But if he's 100%, I want to see Hurts. I don't want to see anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if he's 100%, there's no need to hold him back. Listen, Minshew, Gardner is a phenomenal backup. You know, some guys are made to be in these backup roles. Philadelphia is a team that relies on their backup, who fall in love with their backups. And right now, this city is falling in love with their backups. He is serviceable. When you get to the playoffs, will he be the guy that make the dynamic play? I mean, listen, I know we're talking about athleticism, but there's some dynamic about having a guy that can do multiple things. Yes, he might not have the accuracy as Minshew, but he has a very stronger arm. Definitely got a stronger arm than Minshew. All right, we're not going to even debate that. There are some things he could learn from the past game, where his eyes should be, how he should be placing, where he should be placing his location of the balls, stuff of that nature. Yes, pick that up from the backup because he's been in the league a little bit longer than you have. So, with that being said, if he's healthy, he needs to be on the field. No ifs, ands, or buts about this.
I agree with you. Let me go to some comments, see what you guys are saying out there. Byron Graham says, Hurts needs every single rep. I'm a big fan of him, but we need him to be more consistent passing the ball. I agree with that. Ryan Reeder says, I want Hurts to play even if he's sore. Time for him to make a statement. I don't know if I want that, but I do want to see him. If he's our quarterback, and I mean, we're auditioning him this year. I want him to have a full show. You know what I mean? I don't want him to have a partial showing. And then I don't want to create the controversy of a quarterback controversy. There's no need for it. I like Minshew and all that, but Minshew, let's be realistic. I don't think he's going to be a franchise quarterback in this league. I just don't. There's some things that I saw that he did very well that Hurts can learn from, like you said, ball placement, anticipation, because everybody doesn't have that. And Minshew does have it. He doesn't have a cannon of an arm, but he can anticipate. And this seems like quarterback 101 too. Like if your receiver is doing a crossing route, you have to anticipate where he's going to be. So you have to throw the ball where he's going to be. You can't throw it where he is because he's still moving. So you have to like meet him and line it up, right? Mm-hmm. And not every quarterback can do that. It seems amazing, but not every quarterback can do that. And I think Hurts can improve in that area also. Another thing that I think that Minshew does, well, I'll explain in the second quarter. Let's end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching and listening to Eagles Talk, the unique Eagles coverage show where we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I've seen what you guys are drinking. You guys have told me. Let me go back. Pineapple, Ciroc. Lois is drinking the Crown. And Byron is drinking a vanilla Coke and French vanilla Ciroc. Wow. Okay, that sounds. No, that's a little sweet. All right, so I can't do that. That's a little sweet. That's sugar diabetes waiting to happen. All right.
You gotta drink a glass of water after that. You gotta drink a glass of water. You gotta dilute that.
All right.
But it might
Let
be
me
good,
know
though.
what you guys
It
are
might be
drinking
good.
out there. I'll do one more, and I'm going to take the second half off. But Ciroc Summer Watermelon, and Pat, I didn't even get what you were doing at first.
Of course, you know I'm doing Terramana.
Oh, the Terramana. He's doing a Terramana tequila.
I got 2 bottles of Terramana.
All right, so let me know what you're doing out there as we continue the conversation of our Philadelphia Eagles and this upcoming game against the Washington football team. Everybody down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, so to finish my thought on Hurst, what I liked about Minshew in this game was that he had a better pre-snap read than I think Hurts has. I don't think that Hurts has developed in the processing the information that he sees pre-snap as efficient as Minshew does already. That's something you can learn. You can grow into that, and even the anticipation passes, you can grow into that. So hopefully, that's what I want to see in the last 4 games. I want to see him progress more in those areas right there, and where he's not. I know his legs are a weapon, but I want to see him do more of that, and not have to depend so much on his legs. Because ultimately you're a quarterback, so you're going to have to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely got to get the ball in your hands, just like a point guard. A point guard needs to be an efficient passer, and sometimes a scorer, not in the sense of Ben Simmons, but be efficient in what you do. And as a quarterback, you got to be able to get the ball into your playmakers' hands. You got playmakers on the outside. Besides all the playmakers, not Jalen Reagor, but you do have playmakers. Dallas Goedert is pretty much you can't really guard him unless you double team. Devontae Smith, really, there was so many plays that was left on the table last time that the Eagles took the field with Devontae Smith, and it seems like that's every week we talk about how open he can get. He's going to be a monster in this league when we're able to give him the ball on a consistent basis. Then you got our running backs when they're healthy. When they are healthy, they provide a 1-2 punch with this offense. But you got to be efficient in giving the ball to your playmakers. A lot of people say we don't have playmakers. We don't have that secondary wide receiver. Quez Watkins is a one-trick pony. Devontae Smith, if you roll coverage to him, then you don't have anything. Well, you roll coverage to him, then you got Dallas Goedert eating everything up. You roll everything to Dallas Goedert, then you should have Smitty getting open. If you roll it to Smitty and has Dallas covered, then Quez Watkins become more than a one-trick pony. There are multiple facets of this game that we need to take advantage of, and the quarterback needs to wake up and say, you know what, these are the guys that they need to put the ball in their hands immediately.
All right, so I'm partially in agreement with that. I can't wait to see Devontae be utilized as he can with all the skill set that he has. But at this present time, our bread and butter is the run game. Mm-hmm. So
41
let's
runs.
not get away from that. Let's not get away from that.
Definitely not.
But I agree that with the running game being so successful, that should open some things up for Devontae. I mean, play action. Let's face it. Our two most talented receivers on this team is our tight end and Devontae. Mm-hmm. Right? There are 2 weapons in the passing game. Right? Yeah. So when we take advantage, or if we're running the ball efficiently and effectively, some of that play action is going to benefit one or both of them. So we saw Minshew take advantage of that fact with Goddard last week, or not last week, but the week before, last time we saw our football team play, we saw Minshew take advantage of that, and that's what I was talking about. At least that second touchdown pass, or no, the first one. The first one actually was a direct result of him making a pre-snap read and seeing that Goddard was mismatched, and he went right to him. It was an easy toss and catch. And a lot of those type of plays can develop as long as Sirianni sticks to that run first philosophy. We can really continue to make noise because we have that our running game has gotten us back into contention and in the leaders in the stats too. Like we're up there as far as a running team. I think we're third or second. You know, we're up there.
We're number two. We're number two. Well, actually, in the last 6 games, we're number one. But right now, we're number 2 in NFL running the ball. And that effectiveness. We're not just running the ball to run the ball. We're running the ball to effective. We're at 41 rushes, 4.5, 1 touchdown, 185 yards. We're averaging over the last 6 games 175 yards, Dante. 175 yards rushing per game. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And so Mel Davis, I'm going to read your comment. Mel Davis says Davante will be so much of a topic factor if he is targeted more, so many more plays that he was NFL open. All right. So yeah, I agree with that. He should probably be the first target. And again, it depends on the defensive formation and all that, and the quarterback recognizing the coverages and stuff like that. But if he is, he would be my number one option, right? Unless, of course, like Minshew did, he recognized the mismatch pre-snap and went to Goddard. Anything less than that, though, I'm my first option is Davante. My second maybe Goddard, and then my third Davante. You know what I'm saying? I'm like my progressions is like Davante, Goddard, Davante. I'm not looking at anybody else. That's what I think on the pass game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like they're weapons. They're weapons to retool your team with, right? They're young guys in this league. Not only with the run game, but also with Dallas Goedert. You got to have a productive tight end in this game. You definitely got to have a productive tight end in the NFL. And now you have a dog on the outside that we always been longing for. We spent 2 draft capitals trying to find that guy, which I'm not going to really talk about, but we do have that guy. We do have that guy at receiver. We do need to have a second guy with him, but that's neither here nor there right now.
We're going to get that guy. We're going to get that guy to put the pair with Davante, and it might be the other Davante. I don't know. We're going to get another
back
receiver.
Truck up. If he wants $100 million, doggone it, give it to him.
Guess what? I'm going to say this. I bet you, I guarantee that Howie gets a free agent wide receiver in there that we're going to be pleased with, and whether that's Davante or Allen Robinson, Howie's the king of a big offseason acquisitions. He's better at acquiring free agent acquisitions, big names, than he is in drafting stars.
Correct.
So I have a lot of confidence that he's going to get us a wide receiver 2 or a veteran wide receiver. I'm not going to call him a wide receiver 2 because if either of those 2 are signed, they're going to be automatically wide receiver number 1. And I'm sorry, Davante, you're going to be number 2. You're going to be number 2. So I'm confident that Howie's going to get one of these wide receivers to team up with Devontae Smith and not waste any more draft capital trying to
find a wide receiver.
Get a wide receiver. We just used 2 first-round picks the past 2 years on wide receivers. And we should have 2 stars right now, but we only have Devontae hasn't proven to be a star yet, but he has the talent. He has the talent.
For what they were talking about what they was talking about Devontae's size and how he's going to get bullied in the NFL, he's really shown game in and game out that he can go against the top corners in this league, or just go against the NFL corners in this league and win in his routes. He's definitely winning. If any person on this right now can go and look at these all 22s that we are looking at, you will see that Devontae, yes, he lose sometimes some battles. You don't win every single battle, but he's definitely winning at the line of scrimmage against these press corners.
All right, Ananias says, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not in love with our route combinations to get our speed open.
I said
Seems
that.
like our passing game is dry. Look at
Yeah, it
that.
is. It does.
These
It
are
does look
football X and O guys. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to sit back. Explain what he's talking about, Pat.
So-
you just explain it.
I think I said this like 6 weeks ago. I said it looks like the receivers are running without a purpose. They're not running to get open. They're just running to be out there running. And quarterback is just like, he's trying to find somebody open, but these receivers aren't running with a purpose. These routes should be designed for a purpose. In the last few weeks, you start seeing certain things. Like last week against the Jets, there was a particular pick play. It was the design pass play was already set up pre-route for Dallas Goedert for that pick route, right? That was a design pass play, but the other receivers basically was sitting there. So if they covered that, where are you going with the ball? In those situations, you need to combo these routes. So as you draw one pick play for one side, if that's covered, you should be drawing another play up for these other guys because the other two receivers on the opposite side is not doing nothing. It's just like what we call a basketball play, right? You got your up tier, your low tier, whatever pick plays you have for your basketball team, right? So you have the triangle offense going on one side, then you have these other guys standing on the other side of the court not doing anything. If they're in motion, right? If they're in motion doing that triangle offense, and the balls go down to the big guy and you're switching the motion, somebody's bound to get open on the motion because they're going to try to double team the big guy, and therefore you have an open lane. It's the same philosophy when you run these pass routes. If you're running a pass route or designing a pass route with purpose, like if I have two guys coming across and they're doing crossers, I gotta have a third guy doing a deep seam because one of those crosses going to get open, or the seam might get open because they were in the cover too. It takes time to develop that in your playbook as a coach. I'm sorry, I went too.
All right, now here's Pat going all off on the X's and O's, and don't believe me, I'm a football fan, but like most football fans, we don't know the intricacies of the X's and O's. I have an expert right here on our show, Pat, who does know the intricacies because he's played football. So I've learned a lot just being on this show with Pat. But I'm going to tell you. You just said some things that I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, right? So I'm trying to relate this to how I understand football, which is from playing football in the street. So you're telling me I got my 3 rocks on the ground, right? So I got my 3 rocks, and I'm like, all right, so you run here, and then you cut this way, and then you run here, and you cut this, and you slant this way, and then you go and you come across the middle. Is there anything similar to that? I just need to know.
I didn't really give you the actual real explanation how I could really break it down for you because all right, if you have 5 wide receivers, I know we're going a little overtime. Let me end the quarter and go ahead.
All right, let's end the quarter. All right, let's end the quarter, Pat. I'll let you finish the statement.
Let me go into halftime with this, right? So in a particular route, so you have 4 wide receivers. I'm not gonna say 5. You have 4 wide receivers. You got your Devontae Smith on the outside, right outside. You got Jaden Reagor set up in the middle side. On the left side, you have Dallas Goedert. Then outside of him, you got Quez Watkins, right? So on the right side with Reagor and Devontae, you're looking at the coverage. As a quarterback, you're seeing the coverage. You might put Smith in motion, short motion to come inside of Reagor to see if they're in man or in zone. So in those concepts, if you see that they're playing man, you know what wins in that is quick slants and seam win in those particular routes. Quick routes win in man coverage. If they're playing the zone, seams and deep outs or corners wins in those zones. So that's the actual thinking process the quarterback should be thinking about when they're seeing different things. But for a technical term, as far as the receiver, if I'm running a slant, right? And my inside receiver should be in that same sense. He should be running a seam pass. Reason why I'm talking about a seam pass, he should be running straight towards the goal line, almost like a post, but straight down the seam, right? And this let me see. This is a seam. This outside receiver should be running inside of that. That where you take the inside receiver takes that safety and that
Right.
inside linebacker
And
out
take 'em
of the
back.
picture.
Yeah.
So
All right.
the outside receiver has that slant in that middle. That field is open, but you run it with purpose, not looking back and slowing down. When you run it with purpose, you run it like you getting the ball all times. Therefore, defense has to play you, so they have to play you honest. Things get open in those sense. In
All
our
right, I
offense,
got it.
in our offense, our guys run their routes, 3-step slant, and they stop.
All right, I got it now. I got it. So yeah, that brings a lot of stuff. Like, so when I got my 3 rocks on the store, because we were in the middle of the street that we just had. But I had my 4 rocks. I was like, all right, huddle up, huddle. All right, this is you. This is you. I need you to go up and then cross at the Cadillac at the Escalade. You make your cut at the Escalade. I want you to keep going though. You run the seam, run all the way up, and you gonna take this guy. I got it now. All right, I got it. All right,
Yeah,
that's
you
the
keep
end of the
going,
quarter. that's the end of the quarter.
Nobody saw that, man.
All right. So you are watching Eagles Talk, the unique Eagles coverage show where we like to talk about our favorite football team, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm done. I did 2 shots. I did the first half. I am done. I'm just going to sip on my white wine, and Pat is going to continue on with the Terramana. Terramana, we talk about the head water buffalo. He's going to do the Terramana, and I'm going to sip on my red wine. Let me know what you're doing out there as we continue to talk about our Philadelphia Eagles going up against the Washington football team on this Sunday. Everybody down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
Second half, third quarter. Here we are. We find ourselves, our football team, at 6-7, but more importantly, we find ourselves in the midst of a playoff, in playoff contention. We are contending for a playoff spot, not something that I was necessarily expecting this team to be doing in this retooling year. But here we are. Here we are after a very shaky first month of the season. This rookie coaching staff has gotten this team almost 500. We probably should be 500, but we're not. We're almost 500, and we have found an identity as a smash mouth running football team, and that has propelled us to win some games, 4 out of the last 5 or something like that. So we are now in playoff contention. And because we are, I'm excited. And I want to see us finish strong going down the stretch. I mean, I didn't expect us to be in playoff contention, but here we are. So I'm here now. I'm excited. I want to root. I root for my team every week, and now I have something to root for at this point of the season. So I'm excited just for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, it is something to root for. You always want your team to win, regardless of how much or what product they put on the field. Listen, this team has ability. They're past the over under. I think the under was 6, right? So if they get one more win, if you put up $100, you win at least what $1,600, I think it is. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, this team has actually overachieved in a sense. Overachieved in a sense that you have rookies, head coaches at these positions doing what they shouldn't be doing. Yes, JG brings more leaves you with more desired on the plate. Because this defense is such soft.
It's so vanilla.
Yeah, it's just like I don't care. I don't have the athletes. If you don't have the athletes, if you just go ahead and just take a chance at it, I mean, something's bound to happen. You're bound to find 1 or 2. But we have the athletes, huh?
Look, all right, look, all right. Let me ask everybody out there that. I'm gonna go to some comments after this, but let me ask you, right? So we've seen him play passive, we've seen him play soft. We don't know the exact reason why. A lot of us are speculating that it may be because he doesn't feel he has the talent to play the aggressive type of defense that he might want to play. So I'm gonna ask you, with the talent what the talent we have, would you rather see him play safe like he is now and be successful, or play aggressive and get burnt? I mean, what would you rather see?
I'd rather be aggressive. I'd rather leave it out there on the field than have my defense, on the field for 75, 80 plays. You got these 300-pound guys just running up and down this field. They can give you a good 10 play burst, but after that, sometimes they get tired. You expose your players who are actually good in playing a particular defense when you put them in these different type of soft situations. I have to reiterate this. You don't have the linebackers to sit there and have them to cover the zone like a Seattle Legion of Boom did. See, they played a straight up cover 3, right? You couldn't get nothing against them because they had linebackers and they had safeties that could cover ground faster than their corners could. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they ran that Tampa 2 defense, they had the defensive line and they had the little linebacker that can get anywhere on the field. Right now, we don't have the linebackers to do that right now. Our defensive line, yes, it still has. They have some dogs on the defensive line. There's some, not all. Our corners right now, believe it or not, our corners are the best players on that defense. I don't care what anybody say. Our corners, they're slaves in serious competition for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, yeah, they're going to say no. They're going to laugh at me because what the guy is doing down there in Texas, but I don't care about that. When you have a corner of his caliber who's basically shutting down top receivers or receivers going that way, we need to go ahead and say, with these crap linebackers we have, blitz them every down. Listen, if I was a defensive coordinator, Dante, Dark Knight, listen, I would have the shades on that you had on 88. And we be going at it. Like, listen, these linebackers be tired, but you know what? We result in wins because when you don't have the athletes to do it, you have to put them in better situations to have them out there where they don't have the athleticism to cover those positions.
All right, Yender says, aka Rodney, shit, we getting burnt playing soft. We play way better when the linebacker is flying around, cornerback is pressing, and the safeties are coming up and smacking.
I'd rather see Alex Singleton blitz. Like, he's been a better blitzer than sitting back. He's been a better blitzer, period, hands down.
Yeah, that's so Yender's vote is I'd rather see us play more aggressive and take the risk of getting burnt than see this passive zone coverage that we see Jonathan Gannon in most of the time.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This week, there should be no zone play whatsoever. They're Scary Terry. Their best wide receiver. He's coming off a concussion protocol. Their second receiver, Sims, he's in COVID protocol right now. All right, they're going with some backup guys in these positions. We should be coming after them every single doggone play and put seriously on whoever is going to be their number one receiver. All right. Even if Terry plays this game, you roll coverage to him because he's the one that can kill you. He's the one who will attack this defense for 3 touchdowns because he's a very proven receiver in this league. But with that being said, we have an outstanding corner that can go against these top-notch receivers. We do.
All right, I might change it up a little bit. I love Jim Johnson's philosophy when he had great corners in his defense, and he would put his top corner on the second, on wide receiver too, and allow him to shut him down, and then he would roll double coverage on wide receiver 1. He would, because his best corner could probably handle wide receiver 2.
Well, yes, I would definitely do that. I would
shut them down, and then if need be, if they have their number one wide receiver is that type of caliber receiver, then put double coverage on him.
Correct.
And it was very effective during him. So I would probably borrow that. But another thing I would borrow is his aggressive blitzing scheme on defense. Jim Johnson he was not scared at all. And I know he had better personnel, but he was not scared at all to do that. And then before that, the last aggressive defense we saw was not even Buddy Ryan's. It was what's my man name? He played
Marion?
No, not Marion. He was I think he was a D coordinator for the Steelers at some point.
That's before my time there.
It was after Ryan. It was after Buddy Ryan. He ran the defense.
I know what you're talking about. That's right before Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name. I'm about to look it up for you. So
he ran some very. I mean, he was because our defense was still legendary after Buddy Ryan. Don't get it twisted. It might have even been better with this guy running the defense. But it was Bud Carson. Bud Carson. Yeah. So you know, what I mean,
but you still had dogs on the team at that time,
right? We had a lot of dogs.
He had some good guys on the team that actually. Do you realize Sean McDermott was our defensive coordinator at one point?
Yeah, I know that. 1 year, one and done. He was
right after
the
Jim
defense
Johnson
wasn't that great, and they tried to say that he was too complicated. But in actuality, he was just a scapegoat because Andy was on his last leg, and he had to make an example of somebody. I mean, somebody had to be the scapegoat. So they used McDermott, but they made sure that he got another defensive coordinator job right down in Carolina after he got fired here. So it was probably already understood. Like, oh, dude, you know how the coach talk is. Like, dude, I know it's not your fault, but somebody got to go. So it's going to be you.
He should have still been here as defensive coordinator because
you're going to go down to you're going to go down to the Panthers. They got another position for you down there. You'll be okay. And now look at him. Now he's the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Their defense looks good most times. And as this player and his team is still playoff Super Bowl contenders. They are still that. Even though they had a little hiccup or whatever, but
I love
they're
this
still
comment.
up there.
I love this comment by Yindor about the 80% completion percentage by quarterbacks when we sit back there in that zone. Listen, I'm not a quarterback by any means. You know, when I was in college, I dibbed and dabbed, and I played a little flag football with these guys. You know, and it was fun doing it because I was a superior athlete than most people were. And I could do that thing, but playing quarterback is a difficult position. But in the same sense, if you sit back and don't rush, anybody will pick you apart.
All right, did we end this quarter?
Let's end it.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so we're going to the fourth and final quarter of Eagles Talk. Upon further review, where we're reviewing the Eagles bye week. We're reviewing the Eagles bye week, and we are talking about the Eagles' upcoming game against the Washington football team. 4 games to go for the rest of the season. We could possibly, if we run a table, we can be 10-7. Who thought we could be 10-7? There's a possibility. Likelihood, I don't know. I mean, they are all winnable games. 2 against Washington, 1 against the Giants, and then 1 against the Cowboys, which I foresee all of them being tough, except for maybe this game this week might. And then I'm not telling them to lay down or get too overconfident, but when you got 21 people from the other team not playing, and a lot of them, and some of them being starters, we should handle business. I'm not,
but you know what?
Don't mail it in, but we should handle business. So we got that game coming up. We got another game against Washington and another game against the Giants. Not calling any of them easy because they're all division games against division opponents. And with the toughest one I see being the Dallas Cowboys at the final game of the season. But let's get this quarter started, man. You are watching Eagles Talk, the unique Eagles coverage show where we like to talk about our favorite football team. Yeah, we like to do that. But we like to do it as we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. We like to drink shots of adult beverages and talk about our favorite football team. You guys are having fun. We're having fun. Let's continue the conversation. I'm not doing any more shots. I'm just sipping on my white wine. And Pat, are you doing the shot?
Yes, I will be doing a shot.
Pat.
But I do got to mention one thing.
All right.
We cannot lay down for this game.
We can't.
Wilbert Montgomery was a 6th round pick Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. A lot of these guys that may play this game is 6th or 7th-round picks. You know how you lose a game when you let these guys turn into Hall of Fame running back or quarterback.
Right, I agree with you. All right, so let's raise our drinks to our Philadelphia Eagles and everyone down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, Bill Crow finally joined us. We've been waiting for you, Bill. We're going beyond 8 o'clock because I had not seen you, and now you are here. So, all right, we can finally end the show. Show's over. Okay, Bill Crow says run, and run some more and keep running after that. After you run, and run some more, then the next thing to do, run it again. All right, I'm in agreement with that because that has been working for us tremendously. It's given us our identity of the year. I don't know what this team is going to be after this year. I don't know what this team is going to be after Howie goes out and secures us a top free agent wide receiver, which I'm guaranteeing that he's going to do. I don't know what this team is going to be like once we have that number one receiver along with Devontae Smith and Goddard and the quarterback converted to a tight end. I don't know what this team is going to look like next year. They may have the personnel to run the West Coast offense that our rookie head coach is known for being very proficient in. They may be equipped to do that. But this year and this upcoming week, we are a smash mouth football team. So running the ball is probably our best or most likely way that we can win this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Listen, I think Jordan Howard, if he can come back and even if he can't come back this game, maybe one more game out. I mean, listen, we need to bring this guy back. He's only 27 years old, so, 3 years younger than Miles Sanders. He brings a dynamic to this team that we solely need. We need a bruising running back. We need a bruising running back that can pick up the 2 or 3 yards. That changed the whole complexity of the game. Against the Giants, if we were to say, you know what, regardless if Jordan Howard's in the game or not, we're just going to run the ball, it would have been a whole different story that we're talking about today.
All right, let's dissect that. But first, I'm going to go to this question. BJ says he asks, if we get 10-7, do Sirianni gets Coach of the Year? Is he in consideration for Coach of the Year? If they go 10-7,
Bill Belichick's going to win Coach of the Year.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I forgot. Right. My apologies. You're right. I'm sorry, BJ. Yeah, in a normal year, yeah, he might be considered. He may be in the running. He might even get a vote. You never know. He might get a vote. But with what Belichick is doing with the New England Patriots after taking a year off, so to speak. I mean, they were not very good last year, but Bill Belichick has done a yeoman's job of bringing this team back into contention, and he now has them as the number one seed in the AFC, and that's incredible with a rookie quarterback.
He has never won the Coach of the Year. Listen to that. Bill Belichick, probably the best coach in football history, has never. Well, they ain't gonna debate that, but he has never won a Coach of the Year.
Wow, so yeah, he'll probably win that. he'll probably get that. Sirianni will get a couple votes, especially if he goes 10-7. I would definitely vote for him myself. But getting back to what you were saying about the running backs, yeah, Jordan Howard has been he's been a very, very bright spot on this team, and speaking of such, because it just crossed my mind, like, yo, we have Boobie. Is Boobie going to be back this year? I mean, this week. Is he okay? Is he going to be
back? All right, so let me read through the injury report because that tells you a lot about what's going on. So this week, actually today, Jordan Howard was the limited participant. Jalen Hurts was limited. Linebacker Patrick Johnson was limited. Running back Boobie Miles was limited. Full participants: Jason Kelsey, who we thought was done for the season, Steven Nelson, Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox, and Derek Barnett, all in. So we are getting healthy.
Hold on. What's up with what's the status of Jordan Howard?
He's limited in practice.
All right, limited.
We don't know the full extent. Listen, a knee sprain can be tricky. You could be out for the season like D Hop in Arizona, or you can miss a week.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. I think that this offensive line is what dictates how our running game is running. So if they are healthy, which they are, for the most part, I think that Gainwell and Scott will do the job.
Well, Gainwell did some things last game. He did help me out in fantasy. Got me into the playoffs and won my leagues, and other ones I just look like crap.
Right.
But again, it goes back to what I said about Gainwell. Gainwell is still learning a position of running back. He's more or less a guy you'll put in motion to have him in a slot position and take advantage of his ability to get open, because he was a wide receiver, and at 5'9", 5'10", how tall he is, he's still learning the position and nuances of being a running back. Boston Scott gives you what he can give you, right? He's the ultimate guy that when he's healthy, he can give you everything, and everything that he gives you is positive. Boobie Miles, when he's healthy, besides the dancing that everybody get mad about, he is a very productive running back. He's the first running back to have over 100 yards for the Philadelphia Eagles in 17, 18 games, 20 games?
All right. That was our co-host. That was Shelman calling me. He's been going so long, he forgets that we come on Thursdays.
Let me share the show to him. Let me share the show to Shelman.
But all right,
actually.
so Bill Crow says, I wish Miami would lose more, Doug. I mean, dang, our picks will all be mid-pack or later with what the Colts. What are the Colts doing? It's going to be elite.
The Colts are actually looking very good because of Jonathan, the running back. But listen, take all those picks, package them up, give 2 first-round picks to the person in third position, the second position, get Adrian Hutchinson. I don't care if we get.
Who is Adrian Hutchinson? Tell me about
Michigan. He's
a pass rusher?
He's a pass rusher from Michigan.
Oh, I'll take him.
And he's a monster. He changed the whole game against Ohio State because they couldn't handle him. The whole week, the whole Big Ten, he put on notice that he's the man. I mean, against Penn State, he did some things. I'm not gonna sit there and say, but that's somebody that we need. We need somebody to come off the end that's going to cause havoc. That's going to cause straight up havoc.
Yeah, we need those. We need those playmakers. I agree with you. So like my 3 big wants are all defense. Use all 3 of the first round picks on defense.
I wish we was in the top 10 and get Jordan Davis, Hutchinson, and Kyle Hamilton or Ahmad Gardner. Those 3 guys would be like that. Would be, that's asking for too much.
I want a safety. I want a edge rusher, and I want a linebacker. That's who I want. I want an edge rusher, a linebacker, and a freaking safety in the first round.
Truthfully, I can't wait till our draft shows to talk
I
about
know
it.
you can't. I know you can't.
I mean, because more and more stats and not stats, but stuff is coming out of them. And I'm reading more and more, and I'm like, there are some guys out there like the Devin Lloyd from Utah, the linebacker that wears number 0. He's a monster. He is a monster at linebacker.
Now, what I hope doesn't happen is because when you follow football as long as I have and you have, and you see the workings of an NFL team, you also know that a lot of it depends on your coaches too. I mean, like sometimes you can pick, and we've had that situation here in the Eagles. Sometimes you can choose a player with some talent, and depending on the coaching staff that he goes to, they may ruin him. They could very well ruin him, and you won't see his full potential a lot of times till he goes to another team with a better coaching staff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it always depends on scheme. You're right. It always depends on scheme. But I want to throw one name out there, and I'm going to shut up about all these drafts because we're still talking about our Philadelphia Eagles and this rush that we can actually get into the freaking playoffs. David Bell is a wide receiver. I know we don't want to talk about wide receivers no longer. He's a 6'2" wide receiver from Purdue who's been productive, who's been very productive.
We can't get excited about it. I'm sorry.
I know.
We got Rager here.
I know.
We spent 2 first round picks We done with the wide receivers right now.
Well,
We're
I mean,
going to go
he's
free agent and
He's
satisfy
definitely
that.
All-American. He's definitely won the Howard receiver over the years. He's a two-time Big Ten all wide receiver.
Hold up. Yender wants Kenny Walker III. Is that Kenny Skywalker's son that used to play in the NBA? Is that his son? I'm only kidding.
No,
All right,
that's
all
not-
right, that's
that's
the basketball player in me. All right. Mel Davis says, yes, sacrifice some picks and move up to get the D in like the Utah linebacker also. Who's the Utah linebacker?
That's the one I was talking
Pat.
about, Devin Lloyd.
All right, Devin Lloyd. All right, yeah,
Kenny
I'll take
Walker.
that. I'll take that.
Kenny Walker is a monster at running back for Michigan State. I kind of agree with that. He may
All right, so we
fall-
can get him. He
may
can
fall
be
to the third
second,
round.
third round.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely fall in the third round.
All right, man, that is it, man. We thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us and coming back after we were off on Sunday. I enjoyed my Sunday off. What did I do? I can't even remember.
I had my brother move. I had
Oh,
Paris move. Stuff.
Oh, you helped Paris move. Oh,
Stuff.
move stuff. All right,
Yeah.
all right. I don't know what I did. I forgot what I did on Sunday. I know I enjoyed myself. I didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So but we're back to work this Sunday. Our Philadelphia Eagles take on the Washington football team, and it's a 1:00 game in Philadelphia. So we will be on air at 12:00. Make sure you come and pregame with us. The beautiful Nichelle will be here. Yeah, she's a ball spitz. Sometimes she has to do ball spitz things, so she couldn't make it here tonight. But she'll be here Sunday, and we'll talk to her. And she'll be here, and we'll all get riled up to watch our Philadelphia Eagles take on the Washington football team. Until then, I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight, for my co-host, Pat, and Nichelle in her absence. We will see you guys Sunday, 12:00. Be here or be square. That's some old shit right there, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
Be here or be square. Take us out with the song, Pat.
You show your age.
Go live
All right,
in
y'all.
5,
Take it easy.
4,
Peace.
3, 2, smash him up, crack that fool, quarterback crack, yo, sack that fool, hit him,